Hi everybody, I'm Chef Kate. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make some apple muffins. So perfect for the fall. I was just apple picking over the weekend. So you can do all kinds of things with apples, but I thought, why not apple muffins? You can have them for breakfast, you can freeze them, you can have them for lunch, you can have them a snack, whatever you want. We'll go through all the steps so you can make your own batch at home. All right, my first step in making my apple muffins, I make this great little topping that goes on top of your muffin batter. So when it bakes up, it's nice and crunchy on the top, a little bit of cinnamon in there, so it just complements it nice. I use it for apple muffins, you could use it for blueberry muffins, I love it on pumpkin, whatever you want with a little bit of crunch. Just to make up your muffin batter, we're gonna put this guy on top, and then it goes into the oven. So all it is, it's 3/4 of a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. See, I have my little recipe card. And a tablespoon of cinnamon, 3 teaspoons, it's all the same equivalent, and 8 ounces of margarine or butter. So I like to use butter when I'm using this as a topping, so it stays harder a little bit longer, and I think the flavor is a little bit better. So I use butter in my topping, and then we'll go on to our apple muffin batter, and I'm using margarine in that. Are you wondering why I use margarine in my apple bread and my apple muffins? It's cost. So I want to keep the cost down. Butter right now is super expensive. So if I use butter in my batter as well as my topping, it's going to be almost like a pound of butter, so that's like $4.50 for the pound. Where this way I can use the butter in my topping where I'm really going to taste the flavor. The flavor of the margarine inside your batter is not going to change much. Your texture is going to be the same, everything's going to be the same, but I'm going to save you like $3. So there you go. You can use butter if you want. I'm using margarine. All right, so my dry ingredients I'm going to put in my bowl first. So what I did is I put 4 level cups of flour, 2 level cups of granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So they're all in there. I'm just going to mix it up. I'm going to distribute that sugar and flour all around, baking soda, and I'm just going to set it aside. My next step is I'm going to take my 8 ounces of margarine. I put it in a bowl. I'm going to melt it, but you notice how I cut it up? The smaller pieces in there are going to melt faster than if you just did 2 sticks. So 8 ounces of margarine or butter are 2 sticks. But I don't want it to, I want it to melt kind of, I don't know, maybe a minute in the microwave. So it won't take very long if you cut it into small pieces. That's my tip to you. All right, so my butter is melting in my microwave. I'm going to peel my apples. So this is where you can have a lot of fun with your apple muffins. You can use any kind of apple. I have 2 Gala today and a Honey Crisp. So when we were picking apples, the Granny Smith were not ready yet, so you could totally add Granny Smith in there if you want to. Gala, Fuji, whatever you have around. I like to mix it up though and not use 3 of the same kind. Kind of like if you're making a pie, you want to use different, they have different flavors and textures to them. So I'm going to do the same thing in my bread. So I need to peel it. Sharp paring knife. I'm going to peel my beautiful skin off. This one is the Honey Crisp. Oh, I thought I could get it in one try. The pressure. So I'm just going to peel it. If you want to keep some skin on, you can. It just doesn't cook very nicely, and it makes your apple muffin not as delightful. So you have your beautiful apples. And then I'm going to just cut around the core, and I'm going to do a small dice with it. So I don't want gigantic parts of apples in my muffin. I want little bits all the way through. So I'm just going to use my knife, cut down. Remember, your sharp knife is going to make your job so much easier. I'm going to just slice it this way and put them into a bowl. So while my butter is melting, I can do this. I don't want to do it too far ahead of making anything because I don't want my apples to turn brown and start to get mushy. So, all right, so I'm going to do the same thing with the other apples. Then we'll come back and we'll add our buttermilk and eggs and mix it all up. All right, so my margarine is all melted in my microwave, so it's ready to go. I have my apples all chopped up in a different bowl. Next I need my liquids. So I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of my buttermilk. So I shook it up, I'm gonna measure it into my liquid measuring. Remember the one with the clear and we have the lines, so it's a 1/4 cup. And then I need 4 eggs. So I use large eggs. I'm just gonna put them in. And then all I have to do is take a fork and stir up my eggs because I wanna break them up before I put them into my flour and sugar and all that. So 4 eggs, 1/4 cup of buttermilk, and you're ready to go. So I have everything ready. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I have muffin pans with liners already in them. So they are ready to go. So as soon as I mix everything up, my liquids are gonna hit that baking soda. I wanna get them in the oven as fast as I can. So I don't wanna lose my rise. I'm just gonna mix it all up and then we'll scoop them into our muffin pans. All right, so I'm gonna mix these guys up. I have all my yolks broken up in there. Put it all in. My butter. See, I don't even have to bring out my big mixer today. I can just do it in a big mixing bowl with a spatula. So really easy, not a lot of dishes to wash, which is great. I'm gonna slowly and carefully mix this up, kind of folding it over so I don't get flour all over the place. Ask me how I learned how to do that. I did it really fast and got flour all over the place. So I'm gonna fold it in. I'm gonna put in my apples. They're going to go into our muffin pans. And I know you're thinking, how many muffins does this batch make? So I don't make any like little batches of anything. So I can get about 16 normal size muffins. I could get 12 giant Texas size muffins if I wanted to. I could make these into loaves of apple bread, and that's no problem at all. You just use your little pans, big pans. You can get 2 good size loaf pans. So one for you, one for your neighbor, right? Or you can make a bunch of muffins. I like to freeze them when they're all cooked, and then all I have to do is pop into the oven or into the freezer, take it out. They take about 45 minutes on the countertop to defrost. There you go. I'm done mixing. Everything is in here. I don't have any lumps of flour or anything. Now they're ready to portion out into your pans and into your oven that is heated at 350 degrees. All right, so I have my beautiful topping that we made, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on each of them. You can load it on, you can do a little sprinkling. Those little clumps of butter are gonna melt, and it's gonna be beautiful, crispy on top when it bakes up. So it gives it a nice little texture and a little bit of cinnamon in there. Delicious. And if you have extra topping, I keep it usually in a container, an airtight container in the freezer, so that I don't have to make it every time I go to make some muffins. I can just grab it and make it every couple of times. And then it's one less step, little less dishes I have to do every time. And then I can opt to have it on there or not on there. So you see I have 2 different size muffins. The big ones are gonna take a little bit longer. It's about twice as much dough in each muffin cup, but it will take maybe 10 minutes longer. So the smaller ones I'll let bake for about 22 minutes maybe. The bigger ones are gonna take close to half an hour, but it all depends on your portion size. If you have smaller muffin containers that you wanna use, go ahead and use them. It's all about your portion control. Just know that the smaller ones are gonna take less time. Here we go. Our beautiful muffins are done, ready to be eaten up. All right, so we have some made, ta-da, right out of the oven. I can pull it right out. So I use my little paper muffin pan, my muffin papers is the word. and it's going to be crunchy on the top where that topping was, and nice and beautifully moist on the inside. Look at that, chunks of apples. Look at that nice crumb. Delicious and nutritious, and you can make them and enjoy the season of apples. Ha! One piece!